And what's interesting about folk music is that the older generations love it, and the younger generations love it. And so it's like you kind of have the best of both worlds, because the older generations grew up with it. You know, my parents grew up with folk music, of course. And then the younger generations, Joni Mitchell is like Gen Z's icon, which is wild.
That's wild.
And so it's really incredible that you have both groups.
Welcome to Curious Goldfish, a podcast community where music and curiosity come together through interesting conversations with the music makers of our world. I'm your host, Jason English. You can find Curious Goldfish in all the major podcast and social media platforms. And of course, we have all of our content on our website, curiousgoldfish.com. Welcome back to Curious Goldfish. I'm Jason English. You know, the word prodigy is thrown around quite a bit in the music industry. My guest today might actually fulfill the promise and hope that many people saw in her when she was just a toddler. You know, most of us are still trying to figure out how to tie our shoes at 4 years old, but Stella Prince was busy asking her parents for a talent agent. Fast forward a few years and she's been hailed as the face of Gen Z folk. It's a tremendous title to carry. But after sitting down with her, you realize she has the old soul energy to back it up. We caught up during AmericanaFest, right after her first official showcase. On this episode, we dive into some pretty cool territory. We talk about her time as a 12-year-old radio DJ, spinning big band tracks from the 30s, which explains a lot about her sound and her spirit. She also shares a story about moving to LA to record in the legendary Laurel Canyon with an all-female dream team. But I think the most interesting part is when we get into the heavy stuff. We talk about the one question that used to stump her a lot. What does success actually look like? And she didn't hesitate on what I always ask my guests in terms of what she's most curious about. So check that out at the end. It's a conversation about ambition, independence, and why her generation is suddenly craving the raw authenticity of folk music now more than ever. So from Woodstock, New York, here's Stella Prince. Let's dive in. Stella, thanks for your time.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
No, it's great to meet you. So you live in LA and we're here in Nashville.
Yeah.
Sounds like you go back and forth quite a bit.
I've literally been back in Nashville once a week for the past month, and it's like literally 3 days here, 3 days there. It's crazy.
Did you used to live here or no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you were here and then moved to LA.
I moved here when I was 18 from Woodstock, New York, which is where I was born and raised, and lived here for almost 3 years. And then just this summer, I'm now starting to be more based in LA, but still go back and forth constantly.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're here during AmericanaFest. What do you have specific goals or expectations for this?
Oh my gosh. This past week, so this is my very first time that I ever had an official showcase at AmericanaFest. And it's something I've been applying for since I was 14 years old. So 7 years, and this is the first year I got in. So It's a big milestone, big deal for me.
Yeah, that's great.
Personally. So that was Tuesday night, this past Tuesday at Anzie Blue, which is Nashville's only female-owned music venue.
Okay.
So that was amazing, and it was really just a dream come true.
Well, good. So when, I don't know if there's different levels, but what does it mean to be a showcase artist?
Yeah.
What's the outcome of that for you, other than playing a gig during this week?
I think really being a part of the Americana community. It's something that when I was 14, the first time I ever went to Nashville, AmericanaFest happened to be going on. And I saw all the showcases around town. I had no idea what AmericanaFest was. Right. And I remember just seeing how amazing it was and how the audiences were so engaged and all the industry people that were around. I was like, whoa, that's amazing. I want to do that. So finally happened.
All right, well that's huge. So you're known as sort of the Gen Z folk queen, probably is not the right term, but the face of Gen Z folk. What do you think the future of folk music looks like?
I truly think now is the time for folk music more than ever, specifically because I think people are really craving authenticity. With AI, social media, all the craziness of the world, it's like, I think people just want something real. And that's one of the reasons why I love just performing with guitar and singing, and that's it. And it's just me, because it's so intimate and it's just so relaxed and nice, and I feel like I can really connect with people in that way.
So music obviously has its generational threads, right? Whether you talk about country music or bluegrass or folk. Who preceded you that you think set the right tone and the inspiration for you?
That's a really good question. It's interesting. I think in the 1970s, folk music was pop, which is really interesting to me because that's my whole goal, is to make folk music mainstream and commercial now. And so in the 70s, all those artists, Joni Mitchell, Joan Baez, Judy Collins, their music was played on pop radio. And so kind of looking at that and thinking, oh, that's really the role model. So it's really those artists, I think, that I look to for inspiration, because they were folk singers, of course, but their music was catchy and it was just so good. And it was so popular that it was pop. And that's really the goal.
Do you have peers today that, whether the age is relatively the same or not, but 20s or 30s, let's just say youthful, are there peers that you think carry the same vision and mission?
There's one artist in particular, Laufey. She's incredible. She's not a folk singer, but she's a jazz singer, and she's in her mid-20s. And what I love about her is that she calls her music Gen Z jazz. And it's kind of the same thing, but with jazz. And she's bringing jazz to Gen Z.
Okay.
And I was so inspired by that. And that's kind of where the whole Gen Z folk thing started. Because I realized that if you have this contemporary genre and just make it your own and bring it to Gen Z, it's really possible to get popular again. And it's incredible.
I'm in my 50s. I'm white, male. But I was into Taylor Swift before she blew up even bigger than she ever was. And people have their favorite era of her stuff, but like it all starts and ends for me with Evermore and Folklore.
Same here. That's my favorite.
Yeah, right. And I just so she could do everything else. That's cool, but that was those two albums, because I think it was during COVID.
Yeah.
They came out, and then like I was going through a lot of personal change at the time, and it was wild that late 20s, early 30s woman, her music actually helped a guy like me.
Yeah. And that's what's amazing about it. It's like my dream is to have all fans, all genders, all ages, from all walks of life. That's really the whole goal for me, is to touch everyone, It doesn't have to just be Gen Z. It can be everyone. And what's interesting about folk music is that the older generations love it, and the younger generations love it. And so it's like you kind of have the best of both worlds, because the older generations grew up with it. My parents grew up with folk music, of course. And then the younger generations, Joni Mitchell is like Gen Z's icon, which is wild.
That's wild.
And so it's really incredible that you have both groups.
If you were kind of raised in, I won't make up a town, but Des Moines, Iowa. Let's just say Des Moines, Iowa, instead of Woodstock. Do you think we'd be here and we'd have this conversation? How much was the Woodstock thing influenced?
I don't know if we'd be having this conversation. Right? I feel like it might have come to me decades from now or something. No, Woodstock was unbelievably instrumental for folk specifically, not music. I think I was born with just loving music more than anything, and I would have done it no matter where I lived. But for folk, absolutely, because like Levon Helm was my first concert when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
And all these artists, these folks, Pete Seeger, Peter Yarrow, Natalie Merchant, like they were all just there. And they had concerts, and they picked kids and they brought them up on stage to sing with them. And so I got to sing with Pete Seeger when I was like 4.
No way.
And
really?
He was doing like a fundraiser for the Hudson River and had all the kids come up, and I like gave him a note that said I love music on it, and he, it was just magical.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere too where when you were a little bit older than 4, not quite late teens, but I don't know, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Were you like a DJ and you played like 1930s music?
This is true. This is true.
I mean, what 12-year-old plays 1930s music?
A weird 12-year-old. No, I've always just loved to work, and I've loved to do as much as I can. My whole life, I've just wanted to focus on my career since I was 4 years old. And I went to my parents and said I wanted an agent and I wanted a manager.
Oh, jeez.
And I wanted to start auditioning right away.
Oh, jeez.
And they took me to the Annie on Broadway auditions, open call auditions when I was 4. And that kind of started everything. And I was like, I'm ready to go. I want to do this now.
Okay.
And so from there on, I mean, I did everything, any opportunity that came my way, I took.
Yeah.
So when there was a youth programmer slot open at the local radio station, I took it when I was 12. And I've always loved big band music. My grandfather loved it. So music from the 30s and 40s, I thought was an obvious choice. I did that, and I wrote for the local newspaper and did music review. I've done all of that, and I love it.
I mean, we just met, but I feel like you have an old soul.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
And do you think that's a compliment, right?
It's a huge compliment for me. Yeah. I've always really loved spending time with older people. Like, my grandparents were my best friends growing up, and I've always felt that I can relate more towards older people. Yeah, for sure.
Well, you talked about like asking your parent. I mean, a lot of kids are asking for bicycles and things like that instead of an agent, which is wild to me. But you've talked about, I think in other interviews, just the business side and how you've had your hands in every aspect of what you do, the booking, probably social media, marketing, whatever. And then you talked about authenticity earlier. So at what point does it, I guess, what areas do you think you're comfortable giving up to maintain the authenticity for the things that you want to do moving forward? And are you ready to kind of let some of that other stuff go?
I really am. It's funny. I think really in the past couple of months only, I kind of realized there's only so much more I can do myself. And I've kind of reached the end of that chapter. Everything really started when I was 14, booking my own shows and booking my own tours. And I've booked over 1,000 shows. And so I've kind of wondered over the years, when I reach 700 shows, 800 shows, how much more do I need to do? How much longer should I go? And now that I've reached 1,000, I think I've kind of realized, like, okay, I think it's time to, and I'm lucky because in the past I didn't have that opportunity to work with anyone. It was just me. And so now, as I'm starting to get my team together, it's different. But in the past, it really was just me doing it all.
So what's that team look like right now? Yeah,
it's really, I'd say in the past 8 months, I've gotten everyone together. So it's very recent.
Okay. So it's like a publicist? Is it a manager?
Yeah,
is it,
manager, publicist, branding, marketing, that whole thing. And it's been really amazing. One of the things I love about it is that it's all women. Okay. And something about that is just really special because it's like we can be friends and we can pick outfits together and, decide what I'm going to wear to this event. And there's something really intimate and special about that. Yeah. And I feel like it's kind of a unique situation. I just love it.
I think country music has done a really good job, and I think Americana music has done a really good job of honoring women.
Yeah.
Because if you go back, decades, Maybelle Carter and the Carter family.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton, obviously, and, the list goes on. But I'm sure there's still issues, and I'm sure there's still challenges. I guess, are there structural obstacles for women today that would be sort of a blind spot for somebody like me?
I think what it is there's so many female artists, and there's always been female artists, but what there hasn't been is female team members. And that, I'm obsessed with memoirs. I read every artist memoir possible. Okay. And all my favorite singers, they had these all-male teams. And when they went on tour, it was them and 7 men. All their band, management, publicity, everyone was men. And when they were young women, like Karen Carpenter is my favorite singer of all time.
Okay.
And when she was 22, when she was on tour, she was so alone, so lonely, had no one on the road with her to be friends with that she could talk to. And so that kind of made me realize it wasn't an option for them. But now times have changed and it's an option for me. And I just feel really grateful that I started my career at this time and not 50 years ago.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's good to hear that there's, I don't know if it's hope, but a little bit of,
absolutely.
Change, right? Yeah.
There's so much change. I really want to focus on the positive, and to me that's the one biggest positive out of all of this is how much times have changed for the better and how women are a part of everything so much on the business side.
On the business side,
not just the artist side.
Yeah.
And that makes such a difference with young female artists.
Why LA?
I just finished recording my debut EP in Laurel Canyon.
Oh, okay.
And Laurel Canyon has always been my dream to record.
All right.
It's where Joni Mitchell recorded, Carole King, everyone. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to spend more time in LA to record music and to be in Laurel Canyon, which is really the home of folk music other than Woodstock, and just kind of be in that amazing community. Because LA is very much folk oriented, you know, and I've really enjoyed kind of meeting people there and experiencing it. But of course, Nashville I adore, and I really go back and forth constantly.
Is there room for, I'll say just relationships, whether that's friendship, but also romantic relationships now at your age? You know, that I'm assuming your early 20s. Is that
21.
Fair? 21, yeah. Gosh, you're so young. It's awesome. But is there room for that right now in your mind and heart? Or not so much?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. I think there absolutely will be. But right now, you know, career first.
Since you're 4.
I know, since I was 4. I always say I'm the same person now as I was when I was 4. Nothing has changed.
No, that's awesome. So is the LA thing, is that something, is it kind of just recording this and you're back, or do you plan to be out there?
Yeah, I really definitely plan on being out there, at least half and half, if not more. But what I love is that there's a lot of people now that I work with that are in LA and management and such. And so that's been exciting to kind of just meet people and start to work with people out there as well as Nashville.
So is what you just recorded in Laurel Canyon, I think you mentioned, is it an EP? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, 4 songs.
Do you have anything else planned, like in the near term, that is in the hopper? Okay.
There's a lot that's coming.
Okay.
One of the biggest things is my first sync placement, my first song in film and TV.
Oh, good for you.
Coming out in like 2 weeks. It's in a Hallmark movie, which is like my dream. It's a Carpenter song, Karen Carpenter.
No way.
Their very first #1, Close to You, from 1970. And I reimagined it. And it's just guitar and voice and like a little horn. It's really throwback. We recorded it in Laurel Canyon, and it's going to be at the end of this movie. It's like the sweetest, dreamiest movie. It's called Adventures in Love and Birding, and it's about like a couple that falls in love bird watching or something.
That's amazing.
So that's a dream. So we're releasing that single first, and then the rest of the EP will follow.
Okay. How many songs do you think you have, like, in the, I'll call it the hopper, or in your back pocket, that you've written and are just waiting to kind of be taken to the next level? Is it a couple, or is it dozens and dozens?
I would say 30 plus.
Okay.
Around 30, 40.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs that I've written in the past 2 years that I really want to record and I really want to release, and it's coming.
So where, if, again, you're 21, which there's a lot of 21-year-olds that are way smarter than me and have had a ton of life experiences, but where does the inspiration from all that come from? At your age, it's fascinating.
It's real life. It's really just living and figuring life out, because my parents actually moved to Nashville with me when I was 18. And as of this summer, I'm on my own. I'm figuring it out, and I'm really experiencing independence really for the first time, and driving in LA and figuring out how to navigate that. And that's really, my songwriting has taken, like, really jumped many levels up, because there's just so many things that I'm experiencing and figuring out. And so is Gen Z, and so is everyone my age, and that's the cool part.
How do you think your Gen Z, peers and colleagues, what's their worldview right now, do you think?
It's hard. It's really hard, because we're all entering this crazy world. And something about Gen Z is that Gen Z is the most mentally ill generation, which it's because we're the first generation to grow up with social media. I truly think that's why.
That's right.
And so growing up with all that, it's just so hard. It's really tough.
Yeah.
And with everything going on in the world right now, I just think it's a really difficult time to be a young adult. And I think that's where the songwriting really comes in. One of my favorite songs I've ever written is a song called Good Luck is Hard to Find. And it's going to be on the EP. And the lyrics are, thought I'd have a car by now, but I'm still too scared to drive. Thought I'd have grown by now, but I'm still the same old size. And that's how it starts. And I feel like that just kind of encapsulates, like, what we're dealing with. Like, life isn't what you thought it would be.
That's brilliant. Yeah. I mean, there's so many dynamics at play right now that, again, people my age, Gen X, and others haven't had to deal with. I mean, the cost of housing.
I know.
You know, obviously the inflation just on day-to-day items, the world dynamics, and all the things. There's just so much. Yeah.
Because of inflation, I think, 50 years ago, people my age, in your early 20s, late teens, you could travel the world, you could do a lot of things, buy a car, whatever, kind of just live your life. And now I think because everything has gotten so expensive, there's just not as many opportunities to enjoy your life and to live your life. Yeah. And I think that's really hard. Yeah. And that is depressing.
And I think there's a lot of people that are still trying to, I mean, it's normal, I think, if you're in your early 20s to try to figure out what you want to be and what you want to do. I think that's amplified now. And how fortunate are you that it feels like you've known what you've wanted to do for so long?
Yeah.
It feels like you have a head start. And obviously you're talented enough and driven enough that you've made it happen so far, Well,
thank you. It's it's really, a lot of people ask where it comes from. How did you know?
Yeah.
I've always just known my entire life. I've never ever had a doubt in my mind.
That's awesome. I love that. Love the confidence. That's so good. All right. So, did you ever watch Ted Lasso?
No.
Did you know what it is at all? All right. Well, so it's a show. It's on Apple TV. But it's about an American football coach. So, the Green Bay Packers, New York Giants, American football. He gets hired by a British soccer team. So they call it football over there, kind of as a joke, but then he becomes the leader of these players and stuff. Well, anyway, it's a great show about leadership lessons. And there's a couple scenes in there that really inspired me and kind of changed my life.
Yeah.
One of them has to do with curiosity.
Okay.
And so this podcast is inspired by that show, Curious Goldfish, because I think curiosity is an important aspect of life.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Whether you talk about you and your parents or your friends or whatever. I guess at this point, as a 21-year-old, what are you most curious about?
Seeing how far I can go. A lot of people have asked what I want when I dream, like how far can I go? How much do I want? And I think what I always say is I just want to go as far as I can. I just want to see how far I can go and how far I can take everything. So I'm just going to keep on going and see, find out.
It's interesting. I asked that question to about pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
And most people are like, they take a deep breath and they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think you're one of the only people that
has answered.
There was like no hesitation.
No.
I know. I'm curious about what I want to do, and so it's like it's a perfect example of who you are. Yeah.
Well, a lot of it's one of the questions that people have asked the most. What does success mean to you? And it stumped me a lot in the beginning, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure. That's a really very straightforward question, but it's complicated. Oh. And I was like, oh, I just as far as I can go, as far as the universe will let me go. Really.
Yeah, my grandpa used to say, what your mind can conceive, you can achieve.
Yeah.
So, and your mind can obviously, you can conceive a lot of things. So, yeah. Well, good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. I would love to hear some music.
Yes, I'd love it.
All right,
absolutely.
Thanks, Stella.
Thanks so much. So this is one of my favorite covers in the world to sing. It's a song that I think any folk lovers will know. It's called Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. Well, there ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, if you don't know by now. Well, there ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, don't matter This is probably one of my favorite original songs I've ever written. It's a song called Good Luck is Hard to Find, and it's really written for anyone who's just starting out. Thought I'd have a car by now, but I'm still too scared to drive. Thought I'd have grown by now, but I'm still the same old size. I still have my list of goals I was gonna accomplish with a pen ready to tick off all the boxes, but the next thing I know, the ink's gone dry. Thought I'd have met someone by now, but I still live alone. It took me all this time to move out of my family home. I thought by now my life would have finally be different. Turns out it really isn't, and I'm starting to lose my peace of mind. I wish someone could have given me a warning. When you feel a raindrop, it ends up pouring, and I'm running out of something more valuable than time. All I'm saying is that good luck is hard to find. Ooh, thought I'd be ready by now, but I'm still lagging behind. And the worst part is I still don't quite know why. I still have a list of goals I was gonna accomplish with a pen ready to tick off all the boxes, but the next thing I know, the ink's gone dry. Thought I could